For number 3, it's telling me that I need to find the value of x. So the information that it gives me is that I have 2 chords that are congruent. What we need to remember is if we have chords that are congruent, that means that the arcs must also be congruent. So if I know that one chord creates the arc that's 129 degrees, and then a congruent chord brings me to the arc of 12x plus 21, if I know that these 2 arcs are congruent, I can just set them equal to each other and solve. So I can say 12x plus 21 equals 129, because I know that this arc over here must be the same as this one. Now I can subtract 21 from both sides, and I can get 12x equals 108. Then from there, we can divide both sides of our equation by 12. So divide this side by 12, divide this side by 12. So I know that x is equal to 108 divided by 12, which gives me 9. So x is equal to 9. Now over here, if it tells me that NP, segment NP, is tangent to circle O at point N, so I know that this line right here, it is tangent. We need to remember that a tangent line will meet a radius. Well, it will meet only one radius, because if that radius was off, that wouldn't be that tangent line. But the relationship between the tangent and the radius is that it will always be a 90-degree angle, or they are perpendicular to each other. It means the same thing. So if this is 90 degrees, I can actually use the Pythagorean theorem, where the side across from my right angle is my C value. A and B from there doesn't matter. And we'll be using the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If you have a hard time remembering that, it will be at the top right corner of that blue formula sheet. The only thing you need to remember is that the hypotenuse, or the longest side, will always be c, and it will always be across from that right angle. So I'm going to plug in all my values. I said a was x. You could have said that was b. B is 6. And then c is 10. So x squared plus 6 squared is 10 squared. 6 squared is 36. 10 squared is 100. And we're still solving, so we're not sure what x squared is. I can subtract 36 from both sides of my equation, and this becomes 100 minus 36 is 64. So x squared equals 64. I can take the square root of both sides. So x is equal to 8. And x actually is the whole length of NP, so we have solved our problem.